welcome to another episode of McAllen Parks Unplugged. My name is Ceci Vallejo and I am the Recreation Supervisor at Las Palmas Community Center. Join me today for another fitness video and we will be focusing on fitness bands. Today we will be focusing on 6 different workouts, all involving some fitness equipment, which is the fitness bands. We will also make sure to get started with our stretching. Before we get started with our workout today, let me go ahead and walk you through all the equipment you will be needing today. So first of all, we want to make sure that we have a padded mat. So for us, a yoga mat works perfect. We're also going to need different bands here. Today I will be using the lighter resistance band. All of these things you can find at your local sporting goods store. Another equipment we're going to need is a mini band or a mini resistance band. Again, they usually, depending on the color of these bands, it'll be different sort of resistance here. Today I'm going to go with a light resistance for the exercises that I will be performing. And of course, we can never go wrong with a set of light dumbbells. So to begin with, we need to make sure that we are stretching so we prevent any injuries. We're gonna start just with a light stretch to get our major muscle groups that we will be involving in our workout. Our first stretch will be our toe touch. This is gonna help with our legs and our back as well. So we will slowly reach for our toes until we feel comfortable. We don't wanna slouch over. We still wanna keep a straight back and reach up to where it's comfortable for us. We can hold it for 10 seconds. You're gonna feel a light stretch on the back of your legs, and that means it's working. You don't want it to be painful though. For our next stretch, we wanna make sure we're also getting our groin area and different parts of our legs. So we're gonna perform the butterfly stretch, and we also wanna hold it for 10 seconds up to where we can feel a light stretch, but it's comfortable enough for us to perform this stretch. And again, we'll hold it for about 10 seconds. And we release back to our initial position. The next body part we want to focus on is our upper body. We will be using our upper body a lot during these workouts, so we need to make sure that we get a good warm-up for them. So the first thing we're going to begin with is simple arm circles. We're going to do them forwards and backwards, and we can do 10 for each side. So we just straighten our arms and slowly we roll to the front. And we want to make sure that those shoulders and that back are getting engaged here. We do the same thing now, going backwards. And this, again, is going to help with warming up our upper body. We want to warm up those joints. Continuing with that, we want to make sure we stretch our shoulders a bit more and our arms as well. So a warm-up we can do is reach to the ceiling, tap our back, and with our free hand, we're going to pull back. Again, we want to make sure it feels comfortable. If you start to feel pain, go ahead and stop and do a different stretch. And this we hold again for 10 seconds to where it feels comfortable. And then we will do the same with our opposite arm. We release, reach up, tap our back, opposite arm, we'll sit down, and we count to 10. We feel that stretch, warming up, and we release. Okay, now we're ready to begin our workout with our exercise bands. Our first exercise will be the seated row. For this exercise, as you can see, I have my yoga mat with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a seat and I'm gonna walk you through the steps of this exercise. So we'll go ahead and we're gonna start in the initial spot like we did when we were stretching. So we wanna make sure that the end of our band is in the middle section of our feet, right by the arches of our feet. What I like to do is cross my band over as such. And we call this the seated row because we're going to actually perform like a rowing motion for this exercise. So our arms are gonna be slightly bent, almost side by side to our knees. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep a straight back and we're going to pull each side of the band towards, we're pretty much pulling our elbows back until we feel both of our scapulas kind of pulling on each other. We release, and that would be 1 repetition. And then we perform that again 9 to 10 times. Now for our second workout, we're gonna do a mini band squat. As you can tell, I already have my mini band right around my legs, right above my knees. So we wanna make sure that they're not right on the knees or below, just a tad bit, a couple inches above our knee, so it can be comfortable. The purpose for our mini bands is so that it can align our legs to do a proper squat. So we wanna make sure that our knees don't cave in. And what the mini band does, it adds a little bit more resistance. So with the mini band, once again, we want to perform a normal squat. This is going to give us a little bit of that added resistance, and we can do 10 to 12 of these 4 times. So let's go ahead and begin. We're going to squat. We can hold for a second or 2. Come back up, and we'll repeat that. And you want to go only as far as it feels comfortable for you. Through this motion, you want to make sure that you're not locking your knees and also that our core is engaged. And one more. Okay, now once again, using our exercise band, we are going to perform our next exercise, and this one will be our chest press or punch. What we're going to do is loop the exercise band behind our back. We're going to want to locate it right in between our shoulder blades as such, and we're going to cross them over and hold them like this. So what we're literally going to be doing is going to represent sort of like we're punching at the air. But of course, we want to make this a controlled motion. So it's pretty much like you're performing a chest press at the gym. So again, our mini band is right in the middle of our back. We want to start with our elbows almost at a 90-degree angle. And what we're going to do, we're going to push forward. And what this band is doing is creating that resistance to give us that extra amount of weight, if you might. So we pull forward, we come back slowly. Once again, we bring our hands forward, we pull back. And this should be a slow and controlled motion. And again, this is for our chest, and at the same time, this is also helping with our back. It engages our arms, our back, our chest. So it's a lot of muscle groups that go into simple motions such as these. And just a couple more. For our next exercise, we're performing similar functions like we did for a mini band squat. Once again, I'm going back to my mini band here. We located in the same spot as we did for our previous exercise. And now we're gonna engage the side of our legs a little bit more. We're gonna do a side step. So what we wanna do here is engage our lower body And we want to make sure that our knees are not locked. So we do want a slight bend on those knees. We want to make sure we're comfortable. Our feet are fully planted on the ground. And we're simply going to take some side steps and we're going to repeat this. You can do 10 to 12 times and you can go twice to one side, twice to the other. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And here you want to make sure that you're finding your balance. We're stepping to the side and then simply coming back to the same position we were at. For this, you want to make sure that your knees are not caving in, just like you were performing your squat. You will feel this on your glutes as well as the back of your legs and the sides. Just a couple more. Moving on, we're going to continue with our upper body. So now what we're going to engage is our bicep muscles. So here what you want to do is put that band underneath at least one of your feet. If you want, you can do double step or just have one foot in front of the other. And we're going to start a neutral position as such. And what we're going to do, we're going to face our palms forward, have a straight back, and we're simply going to bring up the band like we're performing a bicep curl, okay? So we do 1, come back, that's 1 rep. 2, this we can repeat 10 to 12 times. All right, our final exercise will be our band pull apart. And here we're engaging multiple muscle groups. So we're gonna focus on our shoulders, our back, our chest, and of course our arms. So the same band I've been using, I'm going to hold it about 10 inches closer to the center. And I won't be needing the handles for this. We're simply gonna hold it here, bring it out in front of us. We wanna do a staggered step here. And what we're gonna do is we're simply going to pull back as far as we can and come back to center. Here you're gonna feel a stretch on your chest. You're also gonna feel that resistance on the back of your shoulders and of course on your back. And again, we can perform this 10 to 12 times for 4 sets. Our core is engaged and we make sure we're following our breathing through every exercise. Just a couple more. Thank you for watching this episode of McAllen Parks Unplugged. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms and stay tuned for more videos coming up.